Hey YouTube, my name is Josh Harm and I started this channel called Harmful Finance. You know, it's a little pun on my name. But today I'm here to discuss with you 8 of the most common mistakes people make when it comes to their financial journeys. With that said, let's get started with the first. So the first most common mistake that people make is not having sufficient emergency savings. So times are tough. Hitting a 3-month savings is often difficult. So the point is to just get started. So there are some caveats to that, like high interest debt that could potentially be prioritized first, but starting a emergency savings is the priority. All right, so let's talk about number 2. Pay your bills first and have fun second. This is a key rule that the rich speak rarely on. There's a reason that the bank can put a lien on your house, or you can be sued in a court of law if you do not pay your rent on time. And it is because you have made a commitment in writing to swear an oath that this bill will be paid. The same cannot be said for your daily cup of Starbucks. With that said, it is also important to make sure you pay yourself and make sure you can stay sane. So ensure you are providing yourself with some quality of life creations with what's left over after you've paid all of your bills. Number 3, not taking advantage of a 401k match. A 401k match is an employment incentive that, after a vesting period or a period of time that says you will not leave the employer without being capable of taking full advantage of the match to be provided, will provide you for example, dollar for dollar or half dollar for dollar, or some lucky folk double dollar for dollar on their savings in this tax-advantaged retirement vehicle. Not taking advantage of a 401k match is literally leaving free money on the table that could be used in retirement. And since 401ks are more common than pensions nowadays, it's extremely important to partake in this perk. The only caveat I'd suggest tackling first is an emergency savings plan or super high interest debt like a credit card in the 28-29% range. But even then, if you are in a safe financial space, it might be intelligent to still consider the match. Moving on to number 4. Tackling high interest debt with tenacity. I consider high interest debt as a burning platform that must be put out with an extinguisher as fast as possible. As always, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, so it's ideal to not have created this scenario in the first place, but life happens. And sometimes we are backed into a corner that involves ascertaining debt in extreme circumstances, or simply is a lesson of maturity to run through on budgeting. There are various strategies to tackle debt like avalanche or snowball, but the primary concern is prioritizing payments of high interest debt even before retirement, obviously frivolous spending, and again, your daily Starbucks. Moving on to number 5, not utilizing IRAs. An IRA is an individual retirement account which offers you the capability of saving for retirement with certain tax advantages that I won't be discussing in this video. But ultimately, utilizing an IRA even potentially before the usage of a 401k. Now, don't read in between the lines too hard here, because I did state previously that a match is the imperative, not the contribution to the 401k. This can still be advantageous based upon your individual tax situation. Consider speaking with a CPA or a certified public accountant if you have tax questions or concerns, but an IRA will help you move along toward your retirement goals and allow you to invest in the stock market and similar, which will be much more beneficial in the long run versus hoarding cash in a savings account, which will actually end up hurting you and your potential growth. Number 6, for the medium to strong-willed, do not be afraid of credit and its many horror stories. Building credit is an essential piece of the financial puzzle if you hope to one day own a home or finance a car on your own without the help of cosigner. Starting early with the guidance of a parent, or like myself, under the guidance of not being able to eat next week if I wasn't able to make my bills appropriately, can help begin the long game of building quality credit. Additionally, the primary means credit card companies earn money is not from the interest rates they charge, but actually you physically swiping your card for purchases, meaning vendors have to pay a fee every time you use a credit card, and every time you do use a credit card, you have the opportunity to share a portion of that fee in the form of cashback bonuses. Feel free to search around for some of the best cashback option cards available to you. Nearly every bank participates in a variation of them. My personal preference is to pay off my balance each month and utilize the cash back as part of my payment each time. Finally, you can consider credit as a final, back against the wall source of supplemental emergency savings, but you should not be considering this as a primary means of emergency savings, this is what a cash savings emergency plan would be used for. The seventh most common financial mistake individuals make is to not have clear financial goals. Unfortunately, without financial goals, examples such as buying a house, saving a nest egg for a child, or targeting retirement, one cannot hit them with any accuracy. When you have goals such as buying a house, you are eager to become educated on the process. You will quickly understand terms such as PMI or homestead exemptions and begin preparing for these by, for example, saving 20% down on a home to remove PMI. The acute example here is much less important than understanding that you cannot hit what you do not target. Ensure you prepare a plan, devise and revise, then execute and adapt. Life will absolutely kick you around, inclusive of when you are down on your luck. So at least planning will provide the groove for you to shoot for when these things happen. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking around if you've made it this far. Here is the last, but certainly not least fruitful financial mistake people make on their journey with money, and that is to find multiple sources of income. With this mistake, it is important to consider one's talents and capabilities. We all have them, so please do not sell yourself short. There are tons of options for second income streams that aren't solely finding a new W-2 job. In fact, I'm certain most people are actually already doing them. If you have ever sold something on Craigslist, tutored somebody in a subject, or maybe even wrote a highly read review on Amazon, these are all potential sources of additional income. You would be surprised how many people are actually interested in your opinion on a topic. Just focus on a unique spin on things, or if you struggle to find depthful opinions, stick to pure facts. The pizza restaurant provided me 2 slices of piping hot pepperoni pizza on time. That's information that's useful to someone, and while they may not directly pay for it, it's possible there can be a layer of ads in front of it. Once again, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around. If there's any advice you can provide me, please let me know. Throw me a like, throw me a comment. If there's any potential topics that you'd like me to consider, I'm absolutely all ears. So thank you so much. Once again, this is Josh Harmful Advice. Thank you.